When it comes to our health, we all want the best that the medical field has to offer, especially when it comes to early detection of cancer. But is the latest thing necessarily the best thing for us? Dr. Scot Ackerman is one of the First Coast's leading oncologists. He joins us every Friday to talk about important health issues such as this. Today, you're going to fill us in on the newest technology, which is 3D mammograms. This is new. Before we get into the nuts and bolts, let's talk about what it is.
So, we use mammograms to diagnose breast cancer, and there's a new kind of screening mammogram technology. And this technology is called tomosynthesis. I have a problem with it too. Tomosynthesis.
Right.
So this is fairly new. It was approved by the FDA in 2011. And it's like a CAT scan of the breast. So the machine moves around the breast. It takes multiple images of the breast, and the images it takes are focused at different depths in the breast.
So now, why this now? Is this obviously it's better? We can detect things better through a 3D mammogram than the traditional mammogram, I'm assuming.
Well, that's the thought.
Right.
So these three-dimensional mammograms, they take, as I said, they take multiple pictures. It goes around the body, it takes multiple pictures, focuses different depths in the breast. And we can look at these images, and it's kind of like flipping through the pages of a book to see the different sections of the breast. And that allows us to analyze each millimeter of breast tissue. Now, a normal traditional mammogram takes a picture from the top and the bottom, and then one from the sides, and those are just two-dimensional pictures, and we see the whole breast, the whole thickness of the breast in that one image. Ideally, the 3D mammogram, since we're able to look slice by slice through the breast and from any angle, ideally we hope that it would be more easy to more readily detect cancers at a smaller and earlier stage. And we think it's also more sensitive technology. So it's specific and sensitive. Sensitive means that we'll be able to diagnose cancers earlier, and specific means that we'll see things in the breast and we'll know that it's cancer or not. Right now, with regular mammograms, when we take pictures, we see some abnormalities, and we just know it's abnormal. And
we just don't know what to do, and so typically, do you just watch it at that point in time to see what happens, or you could do a biopsy, or what?
Right, so a lot of women get biopsied, and so if we see an abnormality in the breast, we frequently recommend a biopsy. Luckily, only 1 in 5 biopsies turns out to be cancerous. The other 4 turn out to be a fibroma or a fibrocystic disease or something like that. And so ideally, because this is a more sensitive technology, that when we do a biopsy, we'll recommend less biopsies, and those biopsies then will be on lesions that we think are most likely cancer.
Like any new technology, the question always emerges, is this going to be covered by my insurance? At this point, is it?
Still, this is deemed investigational. It's approved by the FDA to use on humans, but it's considered an investigational device. 3D mammograms are not covered by all insurances yet. There must be some that do, but I haven't seen any that cover it yet. And the guidelines pretty much for now are that you maybe use these 3D mammograms in conjunction with a regular mammogram to do additional screening. It may not be covered by your insurance, but the cost isn't a real lot. It's about $50 or $100. So if you were to have an abnormal mammogram, this would be a thought to do a 3D mammogram, pay for it out of pocket to get a more specific test.
Well, I would think a lot of women out there would be wanting this mammogram over the traditional 2D mammogram, because if it is so much better, I mean, we want to know.
Well, we don't really know if it's that much better.
Okay.
I think that more research needs to be done to establish effectiveness. If you do a regular 2D mammogram and see something funny, then maybe do a 3D mammogram to get a better look at it. Women need to weigh the risks and benefits with all screenings. There's potential risks with a 3D mammogram because you're taking multiple pictures. That's
it's
more
the radiation level, right?
It could be more radiation. Hopefully, and as we go on, our mammograms now have much less radiation than they used to. And I think with the 3D mammograms, the radiation dose would be less. I think in the future we could see this used for women that have dense breasts, women that have hard to image, women who we think maybe are high risk for breast cancer. We might recommend the 3D.
So out of the gate, for a lot of people, if you don't have a history of breast cancer, you don't have the characteristics that you just described, this would not be the place to go to first. You should stick with the traditional.
Still go with your traditional screening mammogram. We've found that the digital mammogram is better than the old analog mammograms, and most imaging centers now are using the digital mammogram. Just make sure it's American College of Radiology certified center. But for women, my recommendation is at the age of 40 to get a mammogram every year, annually, as long as you're in good health. And if you're high risk, consider getting your first mammogram at a slightly younger age, perhaps 35.
At 40, because that's kind of at the, was it, who came out with the guidelines, and refresh my memory, who said that maybe you should wait until you were 50 to start getting your mammogram, and there was the big to-do about that, and really it should be 40.
So any of the medical societies have looked at this, be it the American Cancer Society, the American College of Surgeons, the Gynecological Society, the American College of Radiology, all recommend the first mammogram at 40 and recommend it annually. The U.S. Preventive Services Task Force has looked at, it's a governmental agency, not necessarily made up of physicians who specialize in the treatment of cancer, have looked at it, and they've made recommendations. It hasn't been accepted yet, but there have been some recommendations maybe to start mammograms a little bit later, maybe at age 50. And that has not been widely accepted.
Yeah, okay. So, and then you say, forget that, start at 40.
Yes,
okay.
I still say start at 40.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're high risk, a little bit earlier.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you so much, Dr. Ackerman. We appreciate you. But why not? Why not? What's, that's my thing. Knowledge is information, power. Why not go ahead and do it if you know that you can detect something early and potentially prevent getting cancer? All right, we appreciate it as always.
Thank you, Casey.
I let a little rant there. If you want more information on today's topic or any other topics that Dr. Ackerman talks about, you can simply go to his Facebook page, which is simply facebook.com/First Coast Oncology.